Hey folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Football Manager 2017. We are playing as Ayr United, and today we are facing St. Mirren Football Club. And a win here would, again, put us closer and closer to mathematically being guaranteed to be in the promotion playoff. Although, there's a very good chance that we're going to be there in the first place. Now, quite an interesting development. We had a great game last time against, I think, Dumbarton, obviously a lower-ranked team. But the result of that game did mean, and I did predict that we'd probably get a lot of people in the match of, or the team of the week, wherever that might be. There we go. We actually had 6 players named in the team of the week, which feels fantastic. Although of the remaining players, four of them are from St. Mirren, who we're going to match up against. So obviously, they've had a pretty good game recently as well, which is kind of interesting. But there you have it. Not only that, though, but you remember Mr. Lammy over here has got, he's scooped up the Young Player of the Month award. At 23 years old, his average rating is 7.74 in his 5 appearances. And yeah, Young Player of the Month award for there. So obviously our players are regarded relatively highly. It's possible that some of them will start to get a big head, and maybe there's going to be a threat of them getting poached. I'm not sure. Now, one of the things that keeps happening in these pre-match summaries is that my assistant coach always tries to move us towards a more structured team shape. Now, I've been doing a little bit of reading on this, and I've left it to flexible in the past because that is the default. And I've talked about it, and I said, well, you know, how good is our team mentality? Because that's really what it comes down to. Do you have really good decision-making? Do you have good flair, good creativity? I don't know if creativity is one of the values over here. Little things like that. Now, I mean, no one's got, like, golden levels of this. And some of them have, like, decent, and others don't really as much. Gary Harkins, of course, has really good flair. Not determination, but decision-making. He's actually not super high up. Actually, sort of midfield over there. So well, I didn't want to go and make any substantial tweaks to our strategies for most of it, since we are kind of sort of locked in here for the playoffs, I feel it might be worth the risk going to slightly more structured, which means our players are less likely to wander around. Now, I was doing some reading online, and it sounds like if we were going with like a really flat sort of structure, like a 4-4-2, or what's the other one, which is kind of weird that they keep wanting me to go like a 4-5-1, even like that, right? Lots of horizontal lines, or sorry, very few horizontal lines. That would be 3 horizontal lines, but basically with one's a striker over there. And if it's very structured, and in fact, the assistant wants not just highly structured, but also be more disciplined and stick to position, people really wouldn't move out of that structure, and it might make it hard to create a lot of sort of passing opportunities that we're looking for. But we have 4 lines over here, and so just slightly structured might not be so bad, because it might, in a slightly structured, the more structured we are, people who are on the attacking side will be just more focused on attacking, people who are defensive will be more focused on defense, and won't cross those roles quite as much. I think this might be okay to do this. Slightly structured, no extra stuff. What I could do is, for Harkins especially over here, right, with his great creativity and acceptable decision-making and his particular role, we might want to encourage him to freely roam from position a little bit more, right? It also comes up in terms of how mixed people are on the defensive things. One of the things with Harkins here is his marking's quite poor. His tackling's okay. And his aggression's actually pretty decent as well. So, you know, he can play semi-defensively and do that. I don't think I'm going to overload them with extra instructions. We're going to go and put in structured here and just see how it goes. We're going to be playing away. We're going to go counter mentality to start off with and see how it goes. St. Mirren is relatively good compared to us. And it is an away game. I mean, we're still higher in the standings, but it's not, you know, it's not crazy. So we're going to go with that, and I don't think this will lead to be a particularly high-scoring game, but it's going to be what it's going to be. We do have our players back. Fitness test. Doherty is good. Confidence update. Disappointed with your attempts to play direct football. Like, we have more direct passing. I'm not sure. I don't know. That might be leftover of previous strategies. I don't know if there's something else I can do to encourage more direct football or not. No idea. But we're going to leave it be as is. We've got no one suspended, no one injured. Someone will be suspended next game. We're not starting Ross Doherty, which is a little bit of a shame because he is a very good player, as well as Robbie Crawford. Now, Doherty really needs to get some of his match sharpness back, so we may have to, I don't know, maybe I should bring him in as a sub here. I mean, all these people are kind of low on match sharpness, though, for some bizarre reason. Even Craig Moore, who we do tend to sub in quite often, he's even had quite a few starts for a while there. I'm not sure. I think we'll leave it as is. That's going to be fine. What could possibly go wrong with this? Let's take a look at the stats. Referee relatively aggressive with the yellow cards here. We've drawn with these guys twice and won once. We keep seeing that sort of pattern come up. It is raining, but otherwise calm. The rain might make it a little trickier to land some more passes, but I don't think we're going to make any other tweaks. Let's go ahead with this. They have 4 injured players on the other side, which actually makes me feel much more comfortable. Maybe I'll actually change the tactic to standard. You know, maybe not go all the way up to control. Well, we'll see how it feels. But, yeah, if they have 4 injured players, our form has been sketchy of late. We're a slight favorite considered here. They're, of course, playing the standard strat that we see everyone play. We'll do the same sort of tight marking here and closing down of the wingers. Team talk, we will be passionate about this, expecting you to win today. I don't think I'll do any more, and we will start. But yeah, I'm going to change the tactic and tell people to play standard here. If the other team is lacking so many of their players, or knew that. Ooh, I like the job they did mowing this field here. Got the sort of diamond pattern. Very nice. We are in the red kit today. Thomas is fouled right away. It's going to lead to a free kick. It would be nice if that was a yellow card over there. I was worried that he was going to get the ball just taken away from him, but no. So clearly whoever was trying to do the tackle there wasn't particularly good at it. Try to set things up for a cross. Doesn't really execute there. I did not double check that our set piece takers are still locked in, but they are. Thomas with a big run there does keep the ball in. Would have been nice if it was more of a midfielder that had made that run and that Thomas would be in position to score, but he's going to work his way over there. McCurdy getting it over to Harkins. Harkins gets it over to McGuffey successfully with a beautiful shot to the far right corner, beating the goalkeeper despite his very valiant effort to dive for the ball. I got to say, like, the goalkeeper saw it coming, but maybe just a little too late, or he just is not quite quick enough on his leap to pull that off. But a beautiful pass there by Harkins ahead of the defender, and McGuffey sees it, is able to race into the right position for it, and gets a goal right on target. Again, I have a lot of hope that Craig McGuffey will develop into a first class. Well, originally it was striker, but if we can keep him as this winger, I'm going to feel good. Harkins keeping the ball in there, gets it over to Geoghegan, who is got a wall of white in front of him. He's going to bring it back to Lammy, who doesn't have anyone out on the wings, which is interesting. Like, why is Forrest not out there? I don't even know where he is on this. Why is he not over here waiting, as opposed to crowding the middle? We've got the structured play on here. I mean, I could encourage people to keep playing wider, because that's not him. That's Geoghegan. I mean, they probably move based on what other people are doing. They fill gaps. They try to take on other roles. I'm not sure. That is a big fail pass by Andy Geoghegan there. It would have been much better if he'd sent it back to, I think, McCurdy was over there. I'm not sure. This is going to give St. Mirren a chance to get an offense going on. But Crane takes the ball away. McGuffey hesitates for a little while getting a hold of the ball. He may have just been holding it up, waiting for someone to get in position. Seems to have worked out great. Thomas is going to be stopped on his run. No! He gets around here. He's still got a wall of white. He's going to be forced to take a nice long shot. It was on target. Great attempt. Good God. I can't believe he was just generally beating so many defenders. Possession is currently 60-40 right now. It's quite early on, but that's still quite good. I'm happy with that. They're going to defend the corner. But it's going to lead to a throw. And I'm actually surprised that he didn't just try to keep it in, but it is going to give us an opportunity to adjust our strategy. Looks like nothing came of it, and instead we are going to have a goal kick. Now, Ross Doohin is back from his international duty, but I've decided to start Jordan Hart a second time regardless over here. Again, I feel like it's very unlikely that we won't make the playoffs at this point. Especially if we win this game, which is going to be great. And I would love to give Jordan Hart a little bit more practical experience in-game here. Again, he's someone who's actually on contract with us as opposed to a loaner, and it would be lovely to see him develop. Even if he doesn't become part of our primary sort of structure in the long term, it still means we might be able to develop him and then trade him away for some serious buckaroos. So that's going to be fine. A beautiful offensive play by St. Mirren there, really keeping the possession and moving the ball up consistently with those short passes. And actually a very scary goal attempt there. It did go wide, but there was a lot of potential for that to just go in. We're going to have a yellow card for Tony Ralston over there. And once again, St. Mirren is on the offense. We're on, what, standard? Right, yeah, so we're not trying to overextend too much. They're doing a really good job of moving the ball here, and if this character, if that Quinn had been a little bit faster, he would have been able to knock that ball in on a beautiful goal attempt. Of course, they're still going to get a corner out of this. Hopefully we can defend this. All right, well, McCurdy stops the corner. Interesting sort of extra cross there, and there's going to be a goal kick for us. Yeah, that was actually kind of terrifying for a bit. They could have just let it roll out. Oh, I think it would have been a throw-in, not another corner. I'm not going to man mark Sutton. Let me check to see. We've already telling him to be just generally marked. I'm not going to allocate someone specifically to do it. Looks like McGuffey just got knocked over there. Tripp, are you going to get a card there, Mr. Naismith? Or just a talking to? Just a warning. All right, there's going to be a free kick for us, though. Gary Harkins lining up. And too high. Too high, by like a foot over the crossbar. All right, there's the goal kick. They're going to start on their offense, moving it slowly. Thomas is going to threaten, just barely there. Magat's head does keep it. Oh, unfortunately, who was that failed? That's McCurdy who failed to win possession of it after that. Thomas has got it, but he's got a big wall of white. He's going to send it back to McGuffey, who's a little bit out of position, so that did allow them to adjust on the defense. Harkins fails to get a pass through the defender's legs. He's going to send it wide to Forrest, who gets it back to the middle to Thomas, who's got gets to McGuffey, who I believe that was an attempt to shoot. It wasn't deflected, so I don't know what that was, really. It's going to be a goal kick is what it's going to be. Decent number of shots, mostly from long. Did we not have the permanent sort of like work ball in the box? Let's go and throw that back in. I think I want that to be permanently there, and I think I keep forgetting about it. I guess I could probably, hang on, if I go here and then go to tactics here. Oh, I can't change the tactics while the game's going on. That's too bad. Naismith finally gets a yellow card on the other side. And another free kick here. Harkins, a little too high. I mean, those free kicks are tough. He did score one time on a free kick, though, so I'm always waiting for more of that to happen. Harkins' energy level is actually pretty good. You're really thinking we should mark him, huh? Yeah, I don't know. I don't like locking someone down specifically to do that. Especially if we haven't looked at the stats. Higgins going to get a yellow card here. They're going to get a free kick, but it sails way over. It doesn't even hit the netting on the backside. Okay, one added minute. That'll be the close of the first half. 1-0. And, yeah, I'll be, played well, but still room for improvement. There we go. You know, sort of a mix of commentary over here. Do I want to make any other changes? I've got the work ball into the box, which I'm going to be okay with. More direct passing, I'm still fine with, generally speaking. I think the whip crosses are still the best approach for us. You're looking a bit nervous, which is too bad. But morale is still good overall. Okay. I think we're going to go as is. Harkins gets it wide to Crane, who's going to boot it way deep to Thomas, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to win that header. McCurdy wins that one with a brilliant leap. Harkins gets it wide to McGuffey, who is able to pass it up to Thomas, who's not going to be able to move right now, but McCurdy's going to be able to get it. He's going to knock it back to Geoghegan, which is going to give us a few more angles. Back to McCurdy. Thomas is a little covered, but yeah, he does get the ball passed to him. Ooh, damn. Gets tackled there and is not able to regain it, but Magat's able to keep possession for us. Jamie Thomas actually pulls an offside, which is a shame, although we do apparently have the ball once again after that for a throw-in. Crane keeps it in, gets it to Harkins. There's going to be a nice pass there to McCurdy. I was going to say, I see his bald head. Back to Gein. I'm wondering, like, if you got it to Forrest right now, would that open anything up? Probably not, but maybe if you pass it to Forrest, Forrest might be able to pass it ahead here, and then Thomas could run through. There's the pass to Thomas, to Forrest rather, but it was a little shorter than we would have wanted, and so he wasn't able to do the through pass. He does get it over to Thomas, who's forced to boot it from afar, and nothing happens there. Another free kick for the opposition, but it goes way, way over. You can actually tell there's a definite quality difference between Harkins' free kicks and Gordon's free kicks here. Harkins hasn't gotten it in, but it does feel like it gets, quite close quite frequently. Got 2 yellow cards pulled already. Substitutes are coming in. It is the 60-minute mark over here. It might be time for us to consider our first one. Magat is the person... No, actually, Sean McCurdy is the one who's the most tired. He hasn't been playing too badly, though. Alan Forrest still not having a really brilliant game, unfortunately, but there's not a really good set of substitutes for him. I mean, yeah, Craig can play both sides. Gary Harkins has skill, but he doesn't really have the readiness for the role, so I'm sure we'll have to leave you in there. We could sub out Thomas, who's not that tired, though, but we're still having a hard time really doing a good job for our strikers. Our goal seems to keep coming in from the flanks a fair bit, which is fine, I suppose. Ralston, the rating's not great. He also has the yellow card too, which isn't really fantastic. I think I'll wait a little bit longer before I do a substitute. It's not like people are that tired yet. Maybe at the 70-minute mark. Sutton was subbed out, though, so let's go ahead and make sure that you over here are going to be tightly marked, and you over here are going to be closed down. If you've got that, that's going to be fine. I'm happy Sutton is out. He was actually quite threatening. Oh, foul. Fraser fouled. Gonna need a talking to. Oh, yellow card for the other side. That brings us to 2 and 2 with yellow cards. So we are above average for this guy. This guy was, I think, around a 2, maybe a 2.9 yellow cards per. Ooh, time really flew there. So we're going to go ahead and do some stuff. Definitely get out Jamie Thomas here. Bring in Craig Moore. That's going to be fine with the support. Superb. Craig Moore always has really good morale when he's not starting. And then when he does start, his morale drops. I don't know if he doesn't like the pressure or what. Sean McCurdy's getting kind of tired here, so we're going to bring in Paul Kearney instead. I think we'll leave you in there. Do we want to use a third substitute at this point? Let's get McGatt. He's getting a little bit tired as well. We'll bring in Peter Murphy. So, again, classic triple sub. 15 minutes left. I think that's perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and do that. Get some fresh legs on there. We're still on standard mentality. I think I'm going to keep that rather than lock things down. Our players, we still have a fair amount of quality players, some tiredness, but I don't know if we're worried. Do I want to move to a more defensive strat? Maybe for the last 10 minutes. That's a little scary. The substitutes haven't come in. Hart with a beautiful save there. It is, that's going to be a throw-in. Okay, almost a corner. Beautiful save there by Hart, because that should have, honestly, that probably should have gone in. I'm surprised it didn't give them a clear-cut chance, actually. Let's consider here if we want to make things more passive, more defensive. I think maybe Ralston, we'll go ahead and tell you to be just a full defensive fullback over here. Crane, you can keep doing what you're doing. So we're going to pull back just a scooch. Harkins, we could literally put you right in the middle here, but I think this is still fine. You tend to roam a fair bit. Standard mentality, again, I could go to more defensive. No, I think we're just going to hold at that. Especially since we haven't really practiced defensive mentality as much. People aren't going to be as familiar with the tactics. So I think this is going to be a better way to fit that in. Waiting for next highlight. Time is... Every now and again this will happen where we're not actually in a highlight, but time is going in normal time. And I've seen it before where people like hold a ball inappropriately long. It's kind of weird. I'm wondering if I just scroll back and then hit live, if that might encourage time to flow better. No, but it gets rid of the preview window. And this is exactly what we've seen before. I've seen this happen from corners, and I've also seen this happen from... I think goal kicks, where things just get held onto for no reason. They will go eventually. I just don't know what they're waiting for. I mean, I'm in the lead, so the longer they want to kill time, the better, I guess. Is the goalkeeper waiting for a whistle, or the referee waiting for a whistle? Nope, there we go. Yeah, something just reloaded. Like, he's still in the corner. There was just, I don't know. I've seen it happen every now and again. There you go. Hart with an easy save, but he's still playing very well for us. I've got to say, Jordan Hart doing a fantastic job. His kicking, I believe, is one of his worst stats. Or actually, I may be thinking of the youngster James Brown with like a kicking score of 4. I think that is actually accurate. McClear here is beating all of our defenders who aren't going to be able to get a tackle. It is going to get in front of the net. Murphy does deflect it away. Thank goodness for that. Mackin does get it back on. He's not able to take a shot. Irvin with a long distance one gets deflected off. Who is that? Ralston, Tony Ralston just basically gets his face in the way, deflects away. It is going to lead to a corner for the other side. Always terrifying here. We only have, it's a 1-goal game. Oh my God, off the crossbar. Harkins clears the ball. Thank goodness for that. And hopefully we can get the threat away. And obviously they're coming in on the counter again. Craig Moore pulling it offside, but somewhere along the way we got another goal kick. And Geegan gets the ball, and looks like we are going to have control over the ball here at this point. Thank good. I was really worried that one of those plays, that corner especially, when it hit the crossbar, I thought we were going to end up with a 1-1 game. If we pull off a win here, again, just by itself, it's not enough to mathematically seal us into the playoffs, but for all practical purposes, oh my God, I thought that was going to go in. McGuffey was forced to go a little deeper. The angle was quite challenging, but a great attempt. And McGuffey's the one who scored this game, I think, right? Yeah. He's doing quite well for us, I gotta say. Harkins does get it over to Kearney, beating this Quinn over here. Back to Gigan. He's got a lot of shot options. Lots of time to make the pass as well, although... He's just delaying the game? What are you doing, buddy? Finally gets it over to Crane, who's going to boot it over to McGuffey, who... Oh, just not fast enough with the control. Gigan does intercept the pass steal, but isn't able to get control either. And just like that, St. Mirren is on the offense. I was really excited about that play. Shanklin was a good shot potential here. Hart defends again. Murphy clears it. It is going to be a corner. All right, I am going to get my team to sit further back at this point. We're going to go to defensive. Go ahead and waste time at this point. That's going to be fine. Because getting beaten on the flank. The other thing, actually, because I could tell... who is it? I guess it'd be Crane. I could tell him specifically to be more defensive, because that's the flank that keeps getting beaten and being threatened. That's probably not a bad idea, actually. Cancel these changes. Crane, I'm going to tell you to go to defense instead of support. I think I'll still go to a defense mentality and go ahead and waste time at this point. That's probably going to be okay. Oh, just like that, we lose it. The changes haven't kicked in yet, so we're not on the defensive mentality. Okay, this Shankland keeps being very dangerous. Actually, so is McClear. Yeah, we really do need to keep Crane back on the left here. It feels like that vulnerability keeps being exposed. So there you go. Now he's going to stay further back. Plus, as a whole, the team is going to play a little deeper. Doesn't mean we still can't do a counterattack. There you go. But that was definitely the vulnerability. And honestly, I should have made the change sooner, because it's a miracle one of those didn't go through. I can't believe it's actually 17-9 on the shots. We are being dramatically outshot, and we are getting lucky. I mean, Jordan Hart is saving our bacon time and time again. Here comes Shanklin one more time, but Crane is there now to tackle it away. He got a little bit of help from behind as well. Harkins, which is a nice header to the flanks, but nope. I guess that would probably be McGuffey. Isn't able to get it there, but I mean, it's not like the header was, you know, it was mostly just a clearing header. Oh, over to Moore, who is going to be a bit pinned down, going to be able to beat the one defender, which is great. Bring it to the middle. It is eventually going to get tackled away. There's no doubt about it. And unfortunately, Mackin does get it there. Tries a long shot. I think that gets deflected. Yeah, I think that was Lambie that deflected it. So it is going to be a corner. I mean, a corner is probably better than letting the shot on goal, but these are terrifying. Can we get it cleared? It's going to be a header that goes wide. Okay, so we don't successfully clear it, but they're not able to get a quality header. Andy Gigan's getting a little bit tired there in the middle. We've only got a few minutes left. I mean, there'll be some extra time. Probably we got about 5 minutes left of play, and they continue to be on the offense. They continue to get these shots. Lammy clears it. It's going to be a throw-in. At least that's not a corner for a change. Our pass completion rate's only been 72% this match. Usually we're used to seeing like 80% or more. You know, 83, 84%. So that's quite interesting. These guys are obviously running a very, very, very good defense. It's been terrifying. We've won 100% of our tackles, though. That's been incredibly impressive. I think we're just seeing, like, this St. Mirren is obviously considerably more powerful than the last couple of teams we've played. It's surprising that they're not ranked higher in the league, because it feels like they're playing very strong. Maybe our players are doing a bit weak. Again, every match, each player basically sort of has an internal role to give them, they're, on form or not on form. I don't think our players are off form so much as, ooh, that's a little disappointing, so much as St. Mirren being really, really, really on form here. And all of them doing quite well. They're slightly more accurate maybe with their passes. Oh my God, Jordan Hart! You have won my heart with your incredible goalkeeping. 22 shots. 22 shots against. Jordan Hart, you are going to get praised. Oh my God. It's going to be a corner. Really? I guess there was a deflection there. I'm just happy it wasn't a header in. You've got to defend for another minute and a half here. Just brutal stuff. Jordan Hart gets his hands on it. Wonderful. Go ahead and kill a little bit of time for me, buddy. And then kick it as far as you can, I would say. I guess I could, not that it really matters at this point, but, oh, yeah, we can't retain position with the more direct passing. Yeah, that's fine. Boom. Deep. McGuffey's not able to get it. So, once again, St. Mirren's on the offense with just over a minute left to play. And the whistle almost never blows right at 92 minutes. That's sort of like the current play sort of gets a chance to finish most of the time. Moore does have it. He's going to be able to get it back to Andy Gigan here, who's going to go quite wide. Oh, no, to Kearney. I misread the angle. It's hard when, you know, it's 2D screen. If I was using this with my Oculus Rift. There you go. Football Manager in the Oculus Rift. So that it can just see the ball angles that much better. Over to Shankland, who keeps seeing a lot of play. Geoghegan does take the ball away. Gets it to Crane, who drops it to McGuffey, who will probably pass it quite aggressively to Thomas, I suspect. Although the angle's not good now. He's forced to send it back to Harkins, who gets it back to McGuffey. Back to Harkins. Thomas is in a nice position, but the interception potential is real. Paul Kearney, there you go. Oh, it's Moore, not Thomas, my bad. Oh my god, I cannot believe that went in. I cannot believe that went in. That feels... I mean, the passing efforts was fantastic, but it feels like the goalkeeper just did not realize what was going on, because that was not a very high-powered shot. Moore does have a lot of time to plan his shot. I think, looking at this, if I rewind slightly, take a look at the goalkeeper. I think he started shifting slightly to the right as Moore was getting the ball. Right here. He takes a step to the right. He was sort of off foot, and he's not able to change quickly enough. He actually does touch it. But there we go. 2-0. Okay. I mean... in the very last possible second we get it in there. I would have felt so much better. My blood pressure would be like, I don't know, 50% lower if we'd gotten that second goal like 20 minutes ago. Because I gotta say, the last 10 minutes felt very scary. Very nice to see Craig Moore finally get one in. Yeah, sure, we'll go ahead and be pleased with this. That's going to be fine. Looking confident. Superb morale. Wonderful, wonderful. I don't think I'm going to specifically praise him for being on form, but, you know, kudos to you for getting one in there. Rearguard action provides memorable, honest men victory. Rearguard action. One of competition's worst defenses so far this season continues to struggle as St. Mirren's lost to Ayr. Yeah, I guess that would be it. I mean, their offense was obviously on point with lots of shots, although none of them got in. Are currently on a 3-match unbeaten league run. Nice. Magat on form. Yeah, absolutely. Do we want to praise? He's 8.2. Was that in the last game? Sure, we'll, defensive works was top-notch. Excellent. I mean, you were already in superb morale. I don't know if it was worth risking having a little chat with you, but we did. Craig Moore, overall, you know, that wasn't enough to bring up his 5-game average too notably, but it is there. Jamie Thomas still with the better overall stats. But Jordan Hart, you have been an absolute pro. Thank you very much for that. I'm wondering if I should leave him in there. Can we see his specific match history? I mean, his career stats and achievements. Huh. This is just going to bring me to the league, right? There must be a way to find out form. There we go. Okay, so we've only used them twice, but both of them did result in a, well, I'm assuming a win. It doesn't tell us the game results here, which is interesting. But we do see his rating, 7.3, 7.3. If we compare that to Ross's report form, this. His rating only one time has hit 7. Now, I mean, it could be a result of something. Why did Jordan Hart do so damn well? Handling reflexes of 14. I guess I could compare him, right? Compare with Duin. So Jordan Hart is in green, so he's got more physical stats, more mental, better communication, more eccentricity, whatever that means. And he's sort of on par with everyone else. Technically, Ross Duin has a higher shot stopping. But I wonder if it's a physical thing, right? The reflexes. How old are you, Jordan? 21 years old. You still have room to develop, especially a goalkeeper tends to stay relevant a lot longer. Huh. Well, I mean, I feel like I'm going to keep him as a starter while he keeps performing well, right? That seems reasonable. Craig McGuffey with his, like, 2-star rating there is so inappropriate, because what a guy. 19 years old, still a lot of room for development, hopefully. I think he's on a part-time contract, right? Does it say? Doesn't say there, contract info. Part-time contract. Yeah, we might, I don't know. I wonder if we want to do an early renegotiation on his contract, get him full-time so you can do some more training. Because with his potential being so high, he won't hit that max potential unless he's training full-time. And I think he does really have a lot of strength. We'll have to see maybe what our budget is. We'll have to pay him more if we bring him full-time. And especially if he's been doing well, he's going to want more money. But we may look into doing some tweaks next year when we get our new budget. assuming the series keeps going at that point. We might take a break. Maybe, we'll take a summer break or whenever the downtime for football is. Okay. Well, let's take a look at our competition stats. Morton's been doing particularly badly. Dunfermline's actually come into 5th place. Impressive for them. We have a... Because Wraith... Yeah, again, Wraith doesn't matter in terms of our comparison. So we have a 13-goal lead, a 13-point lead over Dunfermline. There are 5 games left. Technically, if they win all 5, they can get 15 points. Well, I guess both of them... So... both of them would have to do supremely well. That's what I keep forgetting about. It's not like I keep saying like this is the danger zone for the amount of points. But Dunfermline has to beat me, as well as Wraith would have to beat me to get me into 5th. So both of them would have to go on a basically impossible perfect run of I guess 5 out of 5 and 4 out of 5 over here, right? Because 4 out of 5 would be 12 points, which would get them to 53. So there you go. So if Dunfermline wins every single game, Wraith wins at least 4 games, and I win exactly 0 games in the last 5 games, it's still possible for me not to make the playoffs. But it seems very unlikely. So again, I'm going to say this is going to continue to be a good opportunity for us to test out new strategies. Maybe what I'll do is I'll actually start the next game. Who is it? The Queen of the South. It's going to be a home game. I might just go ahead and start a lot of our second stringers over here and get them some extra match sharpness in preparation for the playoffs. If we can get them into the playoffs with having a lot more people at the 80 plus sharpness range, that will actually be supremely, supremely helpful. So that's probably what we're going to look into. I guess I can look into making some of those swaps now. So let's say we start Craig Moore instead. There's really no one else that can start on the flank that well. We might want to get a little bit of practice in for Michael McDonald, but it's not really possible. If Craig McGuffey gets an injury, we'll probably have to change to another strat, for example. It's actually tempting to start Michael. He doesn't have a lot of role position readiness. That's because he's more comfortable as a winger, like a mid winger as opposed to an attacking winger. Now, I could go and tweak our strategy or our formation to be a little offset, but it's a little bit late for this. But we can encourage you to do something like that just to get a little bit of practice on a potential secondary player. It would mean our next match would be a loss, almost certainly, but it might not be a bad idea. We could start Paul Kearney here. Alan Forrest, yeah, we don't really have a good substitute possibility. Well, that's not true. We do have Brian Gilmore, who's not even a substitute right now. Should we just move Alan Forrest to a substitute and then bring in, I think I said the same name twice. Brian Gilmore in to start. And by doing all this stuff, we're almost certainly queuing ourselves up to a loss because these players aren't as good. They're not going to be as sharp. But it might be worth just accepting a loss. Maybe we should do that for an away game instead of the home game. Disappoint our fans. It'd be nice if we didn't. Bring in Ross Docherty over here. Bring in Adams here. Come Crane with his yellow warning. Start Paddy Boyle. Start Peter Murphy. Start Grant Thorburn. Like real B-teamers all the way across. Nicky's suspended on this one. So bring in Michael Rose. Keep Jordan Hart in there. I'm worried it's going to tank our morale. Michael Wardrop, do we want to have you in as a substitute? I think the answer there might be no. Yeah, I think we're going to consider doing something like this. Just to get some more match sharpness here, a little bit of experience, some starts for a second team. This is almost certainly going to be a massive disaster, and I'm worried it's going to tank our morale. But I think it's actually a really good idea. We might play 2 games like this. Unless both of our opposition, again, if both Wraith and Dunfermline win next time, I might be a little scared about that. But again, it's so mathematically unlikely that both these teams will have such perfect runs that we will get knocked out. And if we got one more win, we'd guarantee our safety. So maybe I should do this until... You know what I could do? Is I could run the B-teamers. The last 2 games of the season are the really dangerous ones, right? If we look at our schedule, like Hibernian here is almost certainly going to be a loss because they're super duper duper strong. Maybe on Queen of the South, maybe I should try hard this one, because if we get the win, or if both other teams fail to win, we're mathematically locked in. So maybe I shouldn't take the risk. It is going to take more than 1 game to get these guys warmed up. Maybe I'll only do a few. This is... Oh yeah, Craig McGuffey. Alan Forrest. There we go. So the offensive team is still pretty high quality stuff. Paul Kearney is quite good and actually has a decent amount of sharpness. Keep the offense there. Yeah, that might be a better balance. Ross Doherty's very good. He's very good. He's just injured for a long time, which is why he's got no sharpness. I think we might go ahead with do this. And, hope we get a bit lucky on the win. There's some risk involved here, but not really that much. Anyway, that'll have to wait until next time. Thanks for watching. See you then.